Hey y'all, welcome back to Face Philosophy. If you're new here, make yourself home and subscribe. Today, I want to get into this tweet from Jay Versace. Now, at first I was kind of like, do I want to talk about this? But I do because I feel like my take might not be as popular as I think because of the reaction to his tweet. I feel like, and I will preface with this, that maybe this is my bias because I've been a fan of Jay Versace since he was like on Vine. So like to see his career develop and him be able to successfully do that rebrand to be a producer instead of a full-time comedian, I thought that was really brave of him and also very amazing to see that transformation. But today, I feel like in today's time, I think it's time for us to have like a sit down. All the black folks, and I say black folks as in like, I'm gonna get into that. I feel like is blackness really something we all share, like we all partake in? Is blackness only skin deep? Because that's what I get from these black diaspora. I don't know how to say the word, but diaspora, whatever. I think my country accent gets in the way, but anyways, y'all know what I'm trying to say. That word. I feel like it clouds the individuality of Black Americans specifically. And I say that with a lot of historical context backing me up because I feel like Blackness is only cool when it's like a pop culture thing. But other than that, like I've come across Africans, Haitians, Jamaicans, all of the folks in the Black diaspora that will literally say, oh, I'm not Black, I'm African, or no, I'm not Black, I'm Caribbean, or no, I'm not Black, I'm Jamaican. And so it's like, when comments that Jay Versace made come up, and he's a Black American. After I recorded this, I saw that Jay Versace is Jamaican but raised in America. So I think that's important to add to this context, but I didn't know before I recorded. I think for us, when we see Blackness being represented as something else that is not us, we're like, I thought you was African. I thought you was Jamaican. I thought you was like, because Blackness is only claimed when it's cool to claim it, but it's rejected when it's time to put a stereotype on one of the groups within the Black diaspora. So it's like, is Blackness only skin deep? I don't think so. Blackness is culture, right? And so I think where things get murky is that like the Black diaspora, it's literally all African descendants. But I think it should just be called that, African descendants, because Black Americans, we claim Blackness and we say that we're Black people. Now, what makes this even more nuanced is the fact that some Black Americans don't even call themselves Black. They call themselves everything other than Black, and they're descendants of slaves. And when I say Black Americans, I'm talking about Black Americans who were forced to be in America due to the transatlantic slave trade, and like your ancestors were slaves. That's who I identify as a Black American. Those are the folks that I know to hold cookouts, wear J's, wear the braids with the edges. Like the Black culture, when you think about Black culture, a lot of times I'm thinking about Black American culture. I don't think about African culture. I don't think about Jamaican culture. I don't think about Caribbean culture because Black American culture is all I know. And so I just think it's interesting that with Jay Versace, there was this conversation about him saying like, basically he doesn't feel represented by Africans, but he's practicing African spirituality. And I think that's valid. It's like, well, if you don't see Africans as a representation for your culture as a Black American, or at least like your phenotype as a Black American, then why are you appropriating their culture by practicing their form of spirituality, right? And so I just feel like as an oppressed group, like all of us people of, melanated skin, being oppressed in the way that we are, I feel like it just causes us to attack each other in ways that are just unnecessary, right? But I do think what is necessary for Black Americans is to claim our damn culture. And while we have this identity crisis going on, all the other Black folks from the other parts of the diaspora, from different countries, different nations, are coming here to America, claiming our shit when it's cool, when it's trendy, and then when it's time to address issues in the Black community, they're like, oh no, I'm not Black, I'm African. Oh no, I'm not Black, I'm Jamaican. And it's funny because Choice TV made a good video about how Africans are prejudiced towards Black Americans, and talk about that. It was talking about like how African parents like prepare their children when they immigrate to America, like to not deal with Black Americans. You know, don't go around them. They're dangerous. They're in gangs. They're in all the negative stereotypes get put on Black Americans, right? And so it's just, I don't know. Y'all let me know. Is it just because I'm biased as a Black American and a Jay Versace fan? But this is how I see it. And if you're African or a part of any other part of the diaspora, like, what's your opinion on this? Because as a Black American, I constantly feel like my culture is being usurped and put on anybody who has the same skin color as me, but not the same struggle as me, not the same background as me. Like black art. When I say Black art, I'm talking about people who are descendant of slaves in America. Black art, Black culture, all of those things belong to us, right? Because our ancestors, you know, lived a life that created who we are today, if that makes sense. So all of this shit is passed down. You know, the way that Black people eat, the way that we dress, all of those things. Like, and it's crazy because like when I see an African person wearing the attire of like a Black American, like our style, our swagger, it always just stands out as awkward to me because like I can tell that they're not American, they're not Black American. And it's not to say that I don't want Africans around or Africans to wear American clothing, but it's just like, if you're gonna wear our style, wear our culture, acknowledge that, and don't disregard Black folks because that's what the trend is or that's what the vibe is. And as a person who's never been out of the country, I can only imagine how much my perception is going to change and how much more I'm going to understand about basically America's PR game. Because public relations is really important for America to keep up their brand, to keep up their image. So I can only imagine the stuff that they're pushing out about Black Americans specifically and our impact on the economy here, our impact on society here to other countries and other nations. Like, I can only imagine. And so they come here with those stereotypes, whether they have the same skin color as me or not, and they live it out and project it. I've met plenty of Africans that definitely hold anti-Black sentimentism specifically towards Black Americans. Like, can we talk about it? And so I feel like maybe Jay didn't have the best words when he said it, but let me reference these tweets because I really liked some responses to it that I felt like acknowledged that it's a nuanced conversation and like the point that he was trying to make and probably just didn't use the best verbiage. Jay Versace isn't complaining about the fetishization of those read as African. He's complaining about that, he's complaining that the fetishization gives them more access and more jobs. He's resentful of what he perceives to be an inverse of the desirability hierarchy in modeling spaces. And I really like that because basically, first of all, Black folks, American Black folks are discriminated against, period. Africans, Jamaicans, Haitians, everybody in the diaspora are discriminated against, right? So we all do share that commonality, but at the same time, it's like, where's the unity? Where's the solidarity when it comes to Black Americans specifically, right? And so I don't know. I feel like it was a projection, if I'm being honest, like a projection for those who felt attacked by what Jay said, because as a Black American, our perception of the world is going to be different from those of other nations, right? Because we grew up here. And so when y'all come here and judge us for our lifestyles here, not knowing our history, not knowing what systems are in place to keep us where we're at. And y'all don't necessarily, some of y'all don't have to find out the hard way because you saved up a bunch of money in your home country and you came over here and established yourself pretty quickly. But this is generational oppression and poverty that you're seeing Black people constantly have to climb our way out of. I had to climb out of the trenches to be where I'm at. And so it's annoying to see people who immigrate here willingly judging my people and our lifestyle and the whatever violence, whatever activity they feel like they see that is not a good representation of Blackness to them, and just kind of throwing us under the bus. That's not giving unity. That's not giving Black diaspora to me. That's giving people of African descent. And I stand with my Black people. So I feel like Blackness is for us, and whatever y'all flag is, wherever y'all country is for y'all, right? So it's a lot, and I feel like it's very nuanced. And people might not like my take. Who cares? Like, I have to live in my skin. I have to live in my culture, and seeing other people who don't necessarily have to participate in my culture, they don't really have to live with the stereotypes in the way that I do because I'm a Black American. I just think that's really interesting. I'm not saying Africans don't get mistaken for Black Americans and Jamaicans or Haitians mistaken for Black Americans, but like, when it's time to place a stereotype, who y'all looking to? Us. Another one that I liked was Jay Versace was literally just saying that African people with certain features are sought after by the modeling world in a way that feels weird and like fetishization. He never said that African people aren't beautiful or that African people are privileged, right? And I do think, I was just thinking about this while I was driving the other day, that stereotypes can be positive and they can also be negative. Overall, they're all negative, but like, the context of the stereotype can be positive. Like when they say Asians are hardworking and good at math, right? For Black people, I can't think of one. Black Americans, I can't think of one. I cannot think of one. For Africans, I feel like it's more so like, you know, they're prideful, things like that. Like I hear things like that about Africans, like stereotypical things. They about their money, things like that. So I don't know. But that's my little take, y'all. I'm trying to look at my notes, make sure I ain't leave out anything. Yeah, so what y'all think? Tell me in the comments what y'all think. Hell, tell me if you feel like I'm wrong. Be cute, though. Be cute, though, because this is a touchy topic and it is very nuanced. So I think everybody deserves to be in America. I'm not somebody who feel like, you know, people shouldn't be able to immigrate or migrate or whatever. But it's just like, pay respect where respect is due. Y'all wouldn't even be able to come here had Black Americans not, our ancestors had not did what they did to make sure that we had rights and all of that stuff. Y'all wouldn't even be able to come here. Like, let's be real. So stop coming for Black people, and Black people just do you know what's right for you, know what's right for your culture, be proud of who you are, be proud of where you come from, and we'll figure out the rest along the way. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good night.